My name is Gibbs Hopkins. This is my demonstrative speech for public speaking. Thank you. Have you ever gone fishing and you get back home with your fish and you just have no clue how to clean it? You might even have to go to the professionals and pay them money to get your fish cleaned before you can eat it? That's no good. I'm here today to inform you on the different steps and materials needed to properly gut a fish. Thank you. First off, I guess we'll start with the materials. Number one, you're going to need some newspaper to lay down on the entire area that you're going to clean the fish, because this will keep things clean. Second, you're going to need a fish, preferably a real fish, not a wooden fish, but for sake of keeping my room clean, I'll demonstrate on a wooden fish for you. Thank you. Next, you need a knife sharpener and a knife. Next, you need a garbage bag to put all the fish's entrails in. Next, you're going to need a fish scaler, which is also known as a spoon. A spoon works great as a fish scaler. Next, you need water to clean the fish out, because it gets pretty messy. And if you don't want to get your hands dirty, you need a pair of waterproof gloves. Okay, thank you. Now, to start by cleaning the fish, you're going to have to cover the entire area with newspaper, because you're not going to want, the fish gets pretty dirty and you're not going to want the entire area to be covered in stinky fishy smell. So newspaper works great. You just cover the whole area, and when you're done, you can just pick everything up and throw it away. No mess whatsoever. Now that you have your area ready, you need to get your knife ready. What you do is you take your knife sharpener here, you hold it in between your fingers just like this, and you take your knife and you cut in one solid motion through the bottom of the knife sharpener, just like that. This should put a nice edge on your blade, make it very sharp. You should cut your fish very easily with this knife. Now that your knife is sharpened, you can start with your fish. This is our fish. Notice we have the top of the fish, we have the sides of the fish, and we have the belly of the fish. The most area that we're going to be working with today is the belly of the fish. So first, you need to find the belly. You need to study it pretty well. And if you look towards the tail fin of the fish, you should find the fish's anus. Now, once you find the anus, you take your knife, and you want to insert into the anus about 3/4 of an inch. Don't worry, the fish is dead, so it won't hurt him. Now, once it's inserted 3/4 of an inch, and no more than 3/4 of an inch, you need to start cutting towards the jawbone. You go forward, 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 all the way to the jawbone, making sure not to go deeper than 3/4 of an inch, because then you might actually puncture the belly. If you puncture the belly, all the feces, all of the bad stuff is going to get into the fish, and it's no good. It's going to be stinky, it's going to be green, and it's going to be gross. Now that you've cut the fish, you put your knife away, and you can have a perfect open cavity at the bottom of the belly of the fish. It should be from the jawbone all the way to the anus. Okay, now that you have it open, you can pry open the cavity with your thumbs, and you're going to have to take your fingers. This is where it gets dirty. If you don't like your hands getting dirty, you might want to use the waterproof gloves I was telling you about. But since it's a wooden fish, I don't mind my hands getting dirty. So I'm going to dig my hand into the body of the fish, pull out every little bit and piece of intestines, stomach, anything inside of there, and pull it out as hard as I can. Sometimes it takes a little bit of a tug. Might even need a knife to actually cut the beginning of it at the jawbone and the end of it at the anus. And with a few tugs, you should be able to get everything out. After everything is out, you can kind of go through there with your finger, make sure it's very smooth, maybe even use your knife to cut out little tiny pieces of leftover intestines. And there you go. Your fish is completely gutted. Next, you're going to want to take your water, and you're going to need to clean out the entire infected area, because this needs to be clean. If it's not clean, then all the intestines, all the stuff that was left over there is still inside there, and that can get you kind of sick. So you need to clean it out very well with your water. After the fish is gutted, you're going to take the fish scaler, or spoon, and you can rub it up and down the sides, just like this. This should remove the scales from the fish. You have to be gentle enough to not harm the skin of the fish, but firm enough to remove the scales. You'll feel it if you do it on a real fish. It kind of pulls them out, just like that. And that works great. Well, this step can actually be done before the gutting if you prefer, but I like to do it afterwards because I have the hole there and I can kind of get my fingers in there and hold it real tight. And that makes it a lot easier for me. Alright, now that you have that done, take all of the entrails, the newspaper, all the garbage, find your garbage bag, everything goes in there. That's why we have the garbage bag. And there you go. In conclusion, I have showed you how to clean a fish. You no longer have to pay money to have your fish cleaned, and you can enjoy your fish just like that. Now it's time to get out there, go fishing, catch yourself a fish, and gut it yourself. Thank you. I'm Gibbs Hopkins, and that was my demonstrative speech for public speaking.